commander, also inside that meeting room here in Mazar-e-Sharif, said that the Kunduz problem will be solved without a fight. The fight, he said, is finished. Dostum said that he was also negotiating with other contacts in the rest of Afghanistan, including the Taliban stronghold of Kandahar, to bring the fight to an end. Details about how the surrender will take place are being discussed as we speak now. We understand that the meeting will be ongoing all night. The Taliban leaders will be sleeping inside this fortress-like compound here in Mazar-e-Sharif, where General Dostum is housed. There's a lot of armed Taliban in here, also providing some security for the Taliban leaders. There are, of course, a lot of details that have to be discussed about how this handover will take place, and especially when. They did not give any kind of a timetable. They also did not give any details about what will happen once the Taliban fighters will surrender. It might be too early, Judy, to call that the war in Afghanistan is coming to an end, but if the decisions taken in that room are translated into reality on the battlefield, peace is certainly one step closer. Judy?
Alessio, what understanding do you have? I understand this is just happening, and so you may not have answers to all these questions, but to whom would the Taliban surrender?
Well, we've been asking that question all day while we were waiting the outcome of this meeting, Judy, and what we've been told is that basically it will pretty much depend on how the Taliban decide to surrender. On the one hand, there will be some Taliban who will simply decide to switch sides, meaning they will keep their weapons and then fight on the side of the Northern Alliance. On the other side, some other fighters, like the so-called foreign fighters, will have to give up their weapons to perhaps the Northern Alliance, or there was no mention in this meeting, at least for now, of any kind of third party who would oversee the handover of the weapons. Judy?
So, Alessio, we don't know at this point whether the United Nations or the United States or anyone else would be involved. Is that correct?
Absolutely, Judy. This is just happening in the last couple of minutes, and as far as I know, there is no representative. Actually, I can tell you, we've been inside the room. There is no representative of the United States or the United Nations inside that room. And for all we know, this is a deal that is being cut between the Northern Alliance and the Taliban among themselves. There is no international person involved in these negotiations, at least at this time.
And very quick, Alessio, who's involved in the negotiations with regard to Kandahar?
Well, as far as we know for now, this is negotiations ongoing regarding Kunduz in the north, and there is General Abdul Rashid Dostum and all the top Northern Alliance commanders here in the north for the Northern Alliance. And as far as the Taliban are concerned, it is the former governor of northern Afghanistan, as well as the Deputy Defense Minister, Assistant Defense Minister Mullah Faisal. General Dostum, in answering questions quickly to the reporters, he said that he was in contact with some people in Kandahar to try to bring the fight to an end there, but he did not specify who they were.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying that, Alessio, and thank you for getting this information to us so quickly. Our Alessio Vinci reporting from Mazar-e-Sharif in northern Afghanistan, a meeting between the Taliban and the Northern Alliance. The bottom line is Taliban forces, one of their leaders, saying that they are prepared to surrender, to either switch over to the other side, the Northern Alliance, or to surrender. But beyond that, the details are still being worked out. He said that meeting will go on all night. Our coverage of America's new war continues.
I love challenges, but September 11th changed the world. I'm an operating engineer. I normally build bridges and highways. Now I'm at ground zero, excavating where people once worked. I can't tell you how sad that makes me feel. But the Red Cross is giving food and comfort to me and those I work with. They listen to me. They're my home away from home.
Thank you, America, for helping Michelle James.
A little different music, as we all know by now. Thanksgiving travel this year will be unlike any other in recent memory. The new security measures at the nation's airports have obviously complicated air travel, and we're told that more people than ever are expected to drive or take trains or buses. We have reporters keeping watch over the nation's transportation system at 3 different locations. We're going to start in Northern California with CNN's Charles Feldman.
We began our day very early at Los Angeles International Airport, where the lines were much longer than they are here at Oakland International. The security at LAX slowed things down considerably, although it only took about an hour or an hour and a half to make our way to our flight on Southwest from LAX all the way up here to Oakland. Now what we're going to do is try to reverse the process and see how easy or how difficult it is here in Oakland to go back to LAX. Now I should point out that this is usually the most heavily traveled day of the year, the day before Thanksgiving, but officials at LAX told us earlier that they expect about 25% fewer passengers this year than last year. Nonetheless, they expect something in the neighborhood of about 600,000 plus passengers over the next 4 or 5 days to go through LAX. But here at Oakland, let's see how some of the people in line here. Hi, guys. Where are you headed to?
We're going to Omaha, Nebraska.
Omaha, Nebraska. Okay. What do you think so far about the security, lines, delays? How's it been so far?
I think it's been very efficient.
Efficient.
Very smooth.
Are you happy with the way things are going, or do you think it's necessary or what?
No, I'm happy. I think they're doing a good job.
Okay, what about you? You're obviously going the same place?
Yeah, they're doing a great job.
It's your dad?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think about the lines and waiting and all that other stuff?
Well, we hit some traffic coming up, but there's not a huge line here, and I'm glad that we don't have to wait.
Okay, we're going to have a safe trip to Omaha.